Walks to his own drummer.
That is very true. All right, we'll get this special meeting of Monday, July 14th, and to call to order. Everyone, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. We begin by acknowledging the land on which we gather as the territory of the Ottawa and Chippewa peoples who have stewarded this land through the generations. Thank you for your strength and resilience in protecting this land and inspiring us to uphold our responsibilities to do the same. With that, I'll go to our Deputy Clerk, Sarah, for our roll call, please.
Commissioner Anderson?
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Wilson?
Here.
Commissioner Werner?
Here.
Commissioner Stanley?
Here.
Commissioner Treadwell?
Here.
Commissioner Shaw?
Here.
Mayor?
Here. All right, and we'll go to any announcements from the acting city manager.
Mayor, commissioners, and concerned citizens, thank you to city staff, especially the Department of Public Services team, including Frank Deturi, Chris Weber, Matt Redkey, Craig New, and Mike Conlon, for their quick response to address the displaced manhole covers caused by localized flooding in the city this past weekend. Also to John Fall and Drew Saylor from the Parks Department, who addressed several downed branches. Although we experienced significant rainfall, we're pleased to report that there were no incidents requiring a strategic deployment of the Department of Municipal Utilities. As a reminder, last week, the city launched a series of surveys related to the city park improvements, including idea generation surveys related to the Brown Bridge Trust Fund, and a survey for the Parks and Recreation 5-year master plan. City residents are encouraged to visit the city's website to link to those surveys. And I also want to report that I signed an administrative order this past week to limit park hours from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. at several of the city's parks, including Hull Park, to address issues with overnight activity.
Thank you. All right, now announcements from the Deputy City Clerk.
Sure. Meetings scheduled this week are the Arts Commission will meet on Wednesday, July 16th at 3:30 in the committee room. The Commons Joint Planning Commission will meet Wednesday, July 16th at 5:15 at Garfield Township Hall. The DDA board meeting will be this Friday, July 18th at 9 a.m. in the chambers. Just a reminder, the filing deadline for the Office of Mayor and City Commission is July 22nd at 4 p.m. And I would like to remind commissioners, staff, and members of the public to speak into the microphone so those watching at home and the recording of the meeting is easily heard. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, so we'll move on to our one item of conversation and topic for consideration today, and that is the separation agreement with the city manager. I think we've all had this for a few days, so does anybody want to make a motion? Go ahead, Jackie, thank you.
I move that the mayor and city clerk be authorized to exercise the separation agreement and release with Elizabeth Vogel, subject to approval as to its form by the city attorney and further contingent upon passage of the 7-day revocation period in paragraph 3E2.
Support.
Thank you. Any other from the commission? Okay, let me write down. Any public comment on this item? Pause, seeing none, I'll bring it back for a vote. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion passes, and thank you to Elizabeth Vogel for her service to our community. So with that vote and with this action, we now have a conversation to be had here. We don't have a major one. I mean, this will be part of a continuing of what we do next steps, but these are things that have to be done in the public eye, and we always do, and they're conversations that don't happen behind closed doors. So first and foremost, I wanted to say that I have talked to Deb Allen this week about her so far appreciated efforts for being acting city manager and willingness to continue while we're moving through this process. And I don't know, Deb, if you just wanted to share a little bit.
I would. Last week, ironically, marked my 1-year anniversary officially here with the city. And while it's been an honor to serve alongside our dedicated staff and the commission over the past few weeks as acting city manager, I've given thoughtful reflection, and I believe I can be most effective in the role of assistant city manager. However, if the commission feels they need another week or two, I'm committed to the process.
Great. Thank you. Yeah, and just would say that this is now kind of an open book, Commissioner, or Mayor Pro Tem Wilson?
So I would say, you know, we have been through the process before of seeking outside help, but I'm always most comfortable with in-house if possible. So if the city clerk, Benjamin Marentet, would be available and willing, I would be most in favor of appointing him as interim. And considering that he's applied for the position before and was selected and ultimately chose not to take it on for the long term, I think in the short term could be effective and cause less disruption to our government.
Thank you. Any other thoughts, either that or anything else? Go ahead, Heather.
So interim, are we talking to 2026, like January?
That's a great point, Heather, and I was going to kind of let everybody have their conversation because I didn't want to have a thumb on it. But realistically, I mean, Commissioner Warner and I have both been through these processes and know that getting, even if you want to, getting a search together, getting the RFP written for a new position, and getting it hired, this commission, as it stands right now, will not have the time to do that before the elections in November. So I think we really should, as we're considering interim and next steps, think about the interim being somebody that would serve likely through the beginning of next year to give the new commission time for the elections and to be formed. It could be that, you know, if Mr. Marentet wants to serve and wants to continue, that might be a decision that the commission then would make. It might be that they'd launch a search and it would be even a couple more months. But realistically, that will be a decision in their hands and not in ours. That I remember last time we had this process, I think we started it in early April and didn't even get to the point of hiring or making an offer until late September. So that's kind of the realistic timeline for something like this. So I think internal, if we can definitely, if there's the will of the commission, we could ask staff to follow up and see if Mr. Marentet would be interested in serving as interim. And then that would be where we would put that with, I mean, we could talk about check-ins and things like that, as it is an interim that we know will be on a longer term. But we can have conversations about other people too, if anybody wants to.
So if Benjamin Marentet were interested, we could appoint him as interim to like January 2025. We don't have to actually start a search at all until that point?
Right, so the charter requires that somebody is appointed to the position within 90 days of a vacancy, but that person can be an interim person. So as long as somebody is appointed and you're working toward, say, a permanent person in that position, that would satisfy the charter. You just have to take action within that 90 days to appoint somebody.
Just one more question.
Mhm.
just
No,
so
no,
I'm not
please do, please.
hogging the microphone. So would Benjamin, if Benjamin were to accept this, does that mean that he has he has two roles? He would continue to be clerk?
No.
Or would Sarah?
Well, we'd have to talk that through. We don't want to put poor
I know
Sarah
that
on the
Sarah's
spot.
fully capable.
Yeah, I think what we likely would do is probably talk to Benjamin this week. Maybe Deb and I can do that and see whether he's interested for that, and then maybe all of us talk together if he is and come back to you with a plan, what that would look like, that you could discuss it for consideration at a future meeting.
Well, I totally agree with Mark Wilson that we could use a little peace and quiet and getting some business done with the elections coming up, with summer rains and summer flooding and just general hurly-burly around here. And Benjamin did want to take on this role earlier this year. Was this
2 years
this year?
ago. 2 years
Was it a
ago,
year ago? So I'm in favor of this plan.
Okay, go ahead.
And just a point of concern was just that at least staff, whether they believe it's a good move, bad move, or indifferent, they at least know who and what they're going to get. And I feel like it's more disruptive when we go out for this like part-time interim.
Go ahead, Jackie.
Like you, I'm very much in favor of an internal option for an interim city manager. There's another step that I hope that we can take early in this process, and that would be a reflection. You know, I was not here for the last round of recruiting, but I think it would be really valuable for me to hear from those people who did participate in it, just sort of a reflection and lessons learned and understanding that if there are any things you would have done differently, you know, this is our opportunity to surface those ideas. So I would respectfully request that that be included as part of the process.
I think as part of the process, and thank you, because you tied into something that's more administrative that I wanted to bring up, but didn't want to stop everybody from sharing their thoughts. I just wanted to make clear, well, first of all, a case in point of what Heather was asking about, you know, when at Light and Power, when we had a change of leadership there, Carla, the comptroller, served in that position for a while until the search was done. So we do have within our mechanisms of our systems ways of kind of allowing people to move up and down and through positions and make sure everybody's supported in the people that are moving. The other thing I would say is no matter what, even if, let's say Benjamin takes this, he does great, everybody loves him and is happy. No matter what, this is a position that we have to post for. And so through that process, now again, that decision will fall to the other commission, but your suggestion of us maybe sharing how we went through the process, I mean, it was very public before, maybe a summary, because we don't have to expect everybody to go back and watch the public meeting and the 3 ad hocs and everything. But, you know, I certainly think that could get into how questions are asked, the formats, things like that. We could always have that discussion, so we're giving some advice to whoever may be on the incoming commission. So we can definitely look at that as part of some conversations in the next couple of months. So that's a good point. Anything else from anyone? Go ahead, Mitch.
I can certainly say that it's less disruptive if we're having, at least for an interim capacity, an internal candidate that knows how our org chart operates and has literally seen the memos and spreadsheets on a weekly basis, if not a daily basis. But I would be very interested to learn not just of Mr. Marantet's willingness to serve in this capacity, but if there is a length that he is comfortable to serve in an interim capacity. For example, right now we have an acting city manager in Deb Allen, but she just said that it's something that she would like resolved sooner rather than later.
I think that's a really good point. So maybe what we would consider doing, and I will mostly leave this, unfortunately, to the deputy city clerk because it's my idea and now I'm dictating it, but certainly can be roped in if needs some consultation. But I think what we could plan to do then is next week, if Mr. Marantet expresses that he's interested, ask our deputy clerk to serve in the clerk's role and maybe have Mr. Marantet come and do not a grilling like we did with our interviews, but perhaps sit down and talk to us and the public if he's willing to about where he's at and what the next couple of months might look like for him if he's willing to take that on. Does that sound like something we'd all be interested in having?
Yeah.
Conversation? Okay, great. And it wouldn't be a full-out panel, but I just think so there's an opportunity for him to have that transition. Go ahead, Jackie.
Just to play devil's advocate for a moment, we're zeroing in on one internal candidate as our interim city manager individual. Should there be an opportunity, we are blessed with a number of very strong department heads and other staff people. If there were someone else who had an interest in acting as interim, should that opportunity be offered?
Go ahead, Mark.
I think maybe we should have somebody in mind, but because Mr. Marantet isn't here right now, I didn't know that he wouldn't be, but and have not had a conversation with him about it, so maybe he doesn't want to. So we should have.
That's a great point. With that in mind, I guess maybe Lauren, I think as our staff person on staff, maybe you could put an email out or something to just say that was asked at the meeting tonight, and if anybody would like to come forward to let us know.
Sure, and we have staff meeting regularly Tuesday morning, so we
Yes.
can bring it up then and
Yeah.
have that conversation as a group too.
Thank you.
Great. Anything from our commissioners? Comments on this, other ideas?
Just that I like what Lauren just said about having a discussion about it, because it would be kind of tough for us to get several names and then have this like internal competing. And I'd rather only see that in if multiple department heads apply for the job
Mm-hmm.
and not interim.
Yeah,
Right, when it gets posted.
Yeah.
yeah, yes, definitely. All right, so couple instructions here for staff. And thank you, Deb, for continuing to graciously serve in this capacity. And so with that, I think, unless there's anything else anybody wanted to say, so none of this is a motion. This was a conversation. We came together collectively pretty quickly, so that's very nice. But we will certainly continue this conversation next week and have that on the agenda with some of the other items that were already slated. One thing that I just wanted to put in for my 2 cents of Mr. Marantet, which I appreciate the suggestion, or anyone internal, is that we did also just finish our strategic plan. And so anybody going outside, I feel like that would be pretty difficult for us to get somebody new and lined up and get them on with us, have any kind of time to work on it as a commission here. So I appreciate the ideas from everybody and where we've kind of gone with this conversation. So thank you for that, everyone. All right, so with that, I guess we will end that portion of the conversation, and we will move to general public comment. So does anybody have any general public comment? It can be on this item or anything from under the sun. Okay, seeing none, I will bring it back to the commission. Any final? All right, well, thank you all for being here. Thank you for the conversation, and we will continue this conversation next week with other items. Thank you all.
Short meeting.
Adjourned, yes.